everyone, good afternoon. It's nice to see you again in this online class with my group. Finally, we meet again. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to discuss about income tax article 23. So, I think some of you maybe feel afraid or feel worried because today is our first time talking about these new topics. But I will guarantee that will not be really that overwhelming, because here we're still talking about the basic things of Article 23, so I think it's not complicated at all. So guys, for one more time, let me introduce my group. There is me, Monica Eliada Mangasidamanik, and my friend Abigail Samita Sitakar, and the one and only man in this group, Bait Putra. So without any further ado, let's start our discussion from the definition of income tax article 23. So here income tax article 23 is a tax imposed on income on capital, service delivery or gift and awards other than those that have been deducted from article 21. And generally, this type of income occurs when there is a transaction between the party receiving the income and the provider of the income. So actually, in this Article 23, we know there is a third party. We usually call it as a withholding tax. We already talked about withholding tax in our previous semester, so I think all of you feel familiar with that words. And then the next is about payment of income tax article 23. So payment is made by the withholding party, who then deposits it through a bank that has been approved by the Ministry of Finance. So that's the way the tax cutter do the payment of income tax article 23. So the next topic that we will discuss is Article 23, income tax reporting. Reporting is done by the withholding party by filling out the periodic income tax return, Article 23, then reporting it through the online tax reporting feature or free e-filing on online pajak. So it's quite simple. We can do it through online. So here I give you a list of income tax objects of Article 23 for these other services. Actually guys, there are a lot of examples of this object, but here I just give you 10 examples. I hope it's enough. Here we can see the first, there is actuary, and then accounting, bookkeeping and financial statement, law, architecture, urban planning, designer, drilling, supporters in the field of geothermal and oil and gas, and then there is mining and supporting services, and the last there is appraisal. Well, then we are discuss about who are obliged as a tax cutter. So in this slide there is government agencies, domestic corporate tax subject, activity organizer, permanent establishment or PE, or in bahasa we usually call it BUT atau Badan Usaha Tetap. And then there is representatives of other foreign companies, and then there is certain domestic individual taxpayer who are appointed by the Director General of Taxes. Well, I also give you the parties subject to income tax article 23. The first there is domestic taxpayer, and then there is also permanent establishment or PE. Well, we continue to the withholding income tax. Article 23 is exempted for first paid or recurring income to the bank, and then the second rent paid or payable in connection with a lease with option right, and then the last or the third is dividends or part of profits received or obtained by a limited liability company as a domestic taxpayer, cooperative, BUMN or BUMD, from capital participation in business entity that is established and domiciled in Indonesia. That's all from me. The next topic will be presented by my friends. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about Article 23 taxation rates. Now, unlike the Article 21 that we have discussed before or we have learned before, Article 23 is very straightforward. Unlike the Article 21, there is no such thing as factorial surface factor costs that might increase or decrease the amount of tax you owe to the government. Here's some example. Now we have an Article 23 rates of 15% of your gross income for any dividends and royalties. Now, if you ever heard the case before in the TV recently that government impose a taxations for anyone who plays or music or records that is owned to someone, they need to pay some royalties. Here's some cases that we are going to discuss. DavidRecords.co received a royalty of 20 million rupiah from Grand Indonesia, that is the name of a very famous mall in Jakarta, since they are playing David's music in their mall. So we just need to calculate the 15% from the 20 million rupiah. 20 million rupiah times 15%, then we got 3 millions of Article 23 owed to the government. Nothing else. Very straightforward. Easy calculations. Now there is another gross income that we need to pay attention to, and that is a 2% of gross income for any kind of rents, excepting land and building, and also for any kind of expert service, such as management, constructions, and consultant service, with an additional of 100% of Article 23 for any tax subject that doesn't have any tax identification number. Now we're going to discuss a little about dividend here. This is the dividend that PT Gold need to pay for a certain period. How much the Article 23 owed for them. So apparently PT Gold having a stockholder from 7 different companies. All 7 of them have their own tax identification number. So the amount of dividend owed by PT Gold is amounting of 500 million rupiah. How much the Article 23 that we need to calculate? Simple. We simply just need to calculate all the dividend owed, and then we calculate that into 15%. And then we got for a certain period, PT Gold need to pay at a cost of 69 million rupiah. Now bear that in mind that PT BNI is a government-owned enterprise, as we all know. So PT BNI is excluded from these calculations. Very straightforward. And then we have another things to consider, and that is 2% of gross income for any kinds of rent, excepting land and building rent. Rent a car, receive a rental payment for 10 million for a month rental service of their luxury car. We simply just need to calculate 10 millions times 2%, and then we got 200,000 rupiah of tax owed. And then we have another 2%, that is an expert service such as management, construction, and consultant service. Equal receive a lawyer service payment of 100 million rupiah for assisting a large Ponzi victim. We calculate that 100 million rupiah times 2%, and then we got 2 million of taxation owed Article 23. Very, very straightforward. There's no such thing as another factor cost that might increase or decrease your taxation owed. To sum it up, there is 2 kinds of gross income that you need to bear in mind, and that is 15% for any dividends or royalties, and also for 2% for any rent service, excepting land or building, and also for any kind of expert service such as management, construction, and consultant service. Bear in your mind that we have another 100% of additional taxations for any tax subject that doesn't own any tax identification number. Very easy, very straightforward, and I believe every one of you with the basic mathematics can calculate the Article 23.
Hello everyone, my name is Abigail Elsa-Samita Stakar, and the last part of this presentation will be explained by me. Now we will talk about the procedure in paying and reporting income tax Article 23. I hope this information can be useful, can help you if someday you have to pay this kind of tax. And here we go. How to pay income tax Article 23. The person who does the payment is withholder. He has to pay through ATM, teller bank, or online in online pajak website. He has to pay the amount of tax to Bank Persepsi. What is Bank Persepsi? Bank Persepsi is banks that has been appointed by the State General Treasurer to receive the state's income. And the last thing you should remember that the deadline is the 10th of every month. After doing the payment, the withholder should provide the proof, that is withholding tax receipt. He has to fill this receipt of form, and then he provide this proof to the tax subject and online pajak website. The first duplicate has to be sent to the tax subject, and the second one should be uploaded in online pajak website. The last but not least, the reporting one. The person who does this also the withholder. The withholder should fulfill the SPT masa PPh 23. He can do the e-filing in online pajak website too. And the deadline for the reporting is 10 days longer than the deadline for the payment, that is the day 20th in every month. So here is I give you an example of the forms that should be fulfilled by the withholder. They are from 1724, or in Indonesia we call it formulir induk, and the second one is form 1724-1, form 1724-2, form 1724-3, and form 1724-4. Actually, the procedure is very easy because we can do all the things such as calculation, payment, withholding, and the reporting in the same day and in the same place. We can do it online in online pajak that has been provided by the tax general director, since nowadays we already have the advanced technology. So everything we can do easily, automatically and it is integrated and of course faster. So I hope all of this information that has been explained by me and my friends can help you to understand more about the Income Tax Article 23. If you have any questions, you can ask us, you can hit me and my friends up. So thank you for all your attention. Have a good day.